AITAH for not allowing my ex-best friend to move in with me? Advice needed. I, 20F, and my ex-best friend, 19F, have been best friends since about 4th grade. We went to school together for a long time, but when the college thing happened, we both went to different colleges in different states. She also took a gap year, so was only a freshman this year. I have always had conflict with and not liked her family, and they have never liked me either. She grew up in a very Christian household, which neither of us related to growing up. She has always been LGBTQIA+, and her mother and grandmother who she lived with never accepted her lifestyle. My parents don't accept it either, but are far more lenient in their beliefs. We were both raised with very little money and in poverty, which we still do, so adding another person to our household would be difficult. Although we have helped her out and let her stay at our home and my dorm multiple times in the past. So most of the problems came about a year ago when my friend came out as trans, which her family really didn't agree with. But she was going to college, so who cares, right? At this point, she thought she was done with her family and moving on. She also sold her car at this point and has had no transportation for a while now. Her first semester at college did not go as planned, and she ended up failing all of her classes and going on academic suspension, causing her to have to move back home. She didn't have a job or a car at this point, which caused a strain on her and her mother's relationship, and she eventually got kicked out of her mom's house as well. During this time, her mom also didn't have a job or transportation, and they lived in an apartment in the middle of nowhere and took the bus to the grocery store, which was about 35 minutes away. Well, when she got kicked out of her mom's house, it was January, and I had to go get her, and she stayed at my dorm for about a week. I eventually took her back to her old dorm with her roommate because the type of dorms they had, no one had to check in guests. She stayed there all semester and got a job for about a month before she was fired and the semester ended. She ended up moving in with her roommate at his parents' house, and a few days ago got kicked out of their house as well because they were going on vacation and couldn't take her with them. Now, since she started college and became roommates with this guy, she has changed a lot from the person I always knew her as. We have still talked a lot, but I would no longer call her my best friend because we have completely different goals. I work 2 jobs and go to school, while she has had 1 job that lasted a month in the past year and half and got kicked out of school. She also parties every weekend with her roommate, and she has just changed a lot. I would say that I still love her, but I don't so much like her anymore. Okay, so now that all of that is out of the way, we'll talk about the problem. I am on summer break from college and living with my parents in their house until I go back to my dorm. So my friend got kicked out of her roommate's house and moved in with her grandma, who was very abusive to her as a child and was there for about 2 days before her grandma also kicked her out. She is now asking to live with me, and my parents have told me no multiple times. I even called my grandma to see if she could live there, and she also told me no. I don't know what to do, and this is weighing so heavily on my heart because, like I said, I do love her, but I can't help her in this situation and don't know anyone who can help her. She has lived and stayed with me in the past for short periods of time, and my parents said that they couldn't do it anymore, and I really don't know how to keep her off the street. TLDR. My friend has been kicked out of 3 places, and my parents won't let her move in with us. I can't help her.